Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos and this is the Facebook ads breaking news podcast. Hello guys, podcast 74 if I'm correct, and I'm changing something. Basically at the start of each podcast I'm going to tell you what we're going to see on this podcast. If you're listening from Spotify or other places, just audio, then I will just let you know that there are going to be some print screens of the questions, and I will say also the topic. So let's start. First of all, what we're going to cover today is the main topic is going to be the new cookies thing, the compliance that we have for EU, United Kingdom and some states in the United States, what happened and all of that. I would just need to clarify that for this one, I'm not a developer, so I'm going to share with you whatever I have gathered, and then we can actually take it from there and you can research it more. Or we can spark up a conversation on the comments and see what we have. I have over here also a Shopify article about the things on Shopify and what is going to change based on that. I do have something that happened on Friday, and campaigns for some reason were not working. New interface things. Dynamic creatives are going away. We're going to discuss also that. And we have the cookies, and there's another thing. I have another print screen over here about how Meta is trying to convince us to do several things. And then we do have the questions, which is, so I'm going to leave just 10 seconds so that you can see them. You can pause the video and watch the questions and see. Basically, the way that you're going to see them, they're going to start appearing. It's going to be the line and how we're going to reply them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I hope it's enough time for my video editor to add all of the questions that we're going to reply. Don't forget, you're going to put them plop, pop, 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 just like this, so that they can be able to stop the video, and you can do it faster if you don't have enough time. Now, first of all, I would like to know your thoughts about something that I'm thinking. I don't know if I'm going to do it now, but maybe I will start doing it from September. I'm thinking of making a live on YouTube with Q&A questions, and I would like to know, guys, from you in the comments if you would like something like that. I'm thinking of making it once per month, for example. If we see that it's super viral or whatever, we can make more of that. Yeah, I think that, and of course it's going to be free. So I'm thinking of doing something like this. The truth is that all of this thing with the YouTube channel that happened to me, I wasn't expecting it. I was just a guy that was having several clients and stuff. Now I have more and more people coming from YouTube, and a lot, of course, the Chosen 5 program, for example, is closed. There are not free spots available right now. I'm going to increase the price of Chosen 5 to 10K so that I can filter more the people that actually want to come. Also, it was a huge success. The people that are inside, they tell me that they would easily pay this money for that. So this is going to be the new price. Of course, for these people that they came earlier, the price is going to stay the same. There are no spots available, but you can check from time to time to see if there's going to be one. Right now, there's only one person on the line for that, and I'm waiting the answer of someone else. But that's a situation right now. I hope that the channel is going to grow so big that I can make it 20K, for example. I don't know, but I don't think that the 10K is going to change for a long period. The truth is that the 5K, because it's daily calls and stuff, it's a little bit small fee for what it offers and what they have, and the progress that I have seen that these people have made. Just need to clarify also that these people were already successful, okay, of course, because they had the money to pay for it, but they were already successful and they came to go one step further, because apparently they have been in other mentorships that people were doing a call with them every once per week, which I don't call a mentorship, I call it a consulting call. Mentorship means that you care about the other, that you do talk with them and all of that on a daily level, and you try to make them excel. And this is what I have seen. I have seen that these are people that they had the mentality of taking mentorship programs, but they have been mistreated on these mentorship programs. And that's how the Chosen 5 is going to continue. Let me know in the comments if you like the idea of YouTube live Q&A, maybe for 1 hour, something like that. And if you would attend, what day it would be suitable, because we have also this problem. We have a video uploading on Monday, video uploading on Wednesday. We have the podcast uploading on Friday or Saturday, depending on when it's going to be finished and how long it's going to be. So let me know which date it will be suitable. I guess Tuesday is always full of calls. Monday, Tuesday is always full of calls. On Thursdays, I'm doing the podcast video shooting. On Wednesdays, a lot of time I'm doing the normal video shootings. On Friday, we have the inner circle call. I guess let me know, guys, of what you think about it. Now, before we go to our main topic, 2 things that I want to discuss. First of all, we had a new interface introduction. I'm putting here a print screen, which is showing that we have the active ads and ad delivery and all ads and everything, and how it looks now. So this is a new interface. I can see also different green circles on the delivery. On some, they look just a green circle. On some others, they look a little bit more of a different design of a green circle. So I'm seeing UI changes, interface changes. And there's one strange thing that happened. It happened on Thursday night to Friday morning. I was publishing campaigns. I told also to other people, it happened also to them. I was publishing a campaign and you couldn't see the campaign on the campaign level, but you could see only the ad sets. The next day, if you had any campaigns running on this period, the next day I wasn't able still to find them, so I created new ones and I could see the new ones. So if you have any discrepancies into your spends and stuff, just try and go and see if you have any hidden campaign that it's not being shown on the campaign level, but just try to see, because the ad sets are going to be shown on the ad set level, so try to see if you have it there. Anyway, we're not going to cover much more of that because it happened and I hope that now it's fixed. But I haven't seen my old campaigns actually that I created and I couldn't see on Thursday night to be active the next days. So I was looking at it to see if there are any hidden campaigns. I haven't found anything the next days. Just take it also, just to be safe on your end. We do have news about dynamic creative ads. We all know dynamic creative ads. We use them a lot on the Crazy Method and we use them a lot on other instances. They go away. The message that I got, and I have seen also the format, which is this. The format, it says choose how you'd like to structure your ad. Flexible will show your ad in the format we predict may perform best. So flexible now, it's like dynamic creative ads. And it says on the top, dynamic creative ads will be going away soon. Until then, using dynamic creatives will enable the flexible ad format. This allows you to continue providing creative elements to automatically generate combinations tailored for your audience. Will also show your ad in the format that we predict may perform best. So they are going away. Basically, it was the toggle on off button that we had on the ad set level called dynamic creative ads, and we use them a lot. Now, I have seen people using flexible ads and not being happy with it and telling me bad things about them. Most of the times, guys, when something is being launched in Meta, I'm going to test it on new ad accounts, for example, not immediately on working ad accounts, because I'm afraid that the new features that Meta has they never work really well. There is only one exception to that rule, which is the dynamic shopping dynamic creative campaigns, the advanced shopping campaigns, which worked immediately since day one. CBO didn't work immediately. We had very bad results initially until CBO starts working, and now it's working much better than ABO. So all of this means that I'm just going to test it a little bit here and there, but not massively. So when there's a new thing coming with Meta, I'm a little bit reluctant and I'm not testing it immediately. I'm just waiting a little bit. One thing that I can tell you about flexible ads is that they are not working in the same way as dynamic creative ads. The thing is that we can have multiple ads per ad set, which wasn't the option for the previous format with dynamic creative ads. And yeah, I'm listening bad things about them. They're not on all ad accounts. I don't know if they're going to be, but it looks like they are. I have seen them in some ad accounts. I have tested them, haven't seen anything good. And a lot of people told me bad things about them, and the difference is that you can do many ads now. So we will see maybe what is going to happen with this in the future. Next one, let me fold this. Okay, so next one, I was watching this the other time, and it was it's just a print screen that I took because I was trying to do some changes, and Meta was trying to push me to use advanced plus audience and advanced plus creative, blah blah, and they say 33% lower cost per result based on our experiment, or 3% lower cost per result based on our experiment. Well, these experiments, just so you know, they're happening to companies that they have trained pixels and all of that. So how can you go in a platform and actually propose this kind of changes for a company that you don't know if it's a new company or if it has a trained pixel, or as we said in the previous podcast, apparently there are people that they don't believe that pixels are getting trained. And one of my friends, Michael, was actually liking the idea, and now he's debating to his head, and he says, but maybe the ad accounts are getting trained and stuff. No, guys, the pixels are getting trained. So Michael, don't overthink about it, okay? The pixels are getting trained. I know it because I have tested with the same pixel in other ad accounts, getting similar results. I'm not saying that from ad account to ad account you have the same results. I do believe that ad accounts are getting trained and pixels are getting trained. But for sure, I know that if I was going to go with a new pixel in a new ad account and with a new pixel with a trained pixel in a new ad account, the same ad account, the results are different. And this is a test that I have done. Okay, I have done it when I had limits of spend on specific ad accounts, and I was using several ad accounts to spend more money. But if we think of it, we can never be sure about anything. Okay, it's just about observing. But I do believe that pixels are getting trained, and I do believe that pixels also get trained to send you traffic that converts for your funnel even. And it makes sense if you think of it, the people that are converting in a landing page with more and more and more data that it gathers about what they like and all of that, the ideal avatar which is being formed from the pixel for the product, it's also people that are converting a specific landing page. That's why you go to other landing pages, and even if they're looking better from your old crappy landing page, they're not working anymore. But that's my theory. Anyway, so we had these suggestions from Meta. I would just do you see how they have with green button publish with adjustments and publish without adjustments with gray, you know? And basically they say that based on our experiment, which is being made with, I have been part of these experiments in very big ad accounts, that even if you use advanced plus audience or something else, is not going to make a huge difference. Let me tell you also that in these experiments, because I have been part also from the side that they tell us, okay, now that we finished the experiment, let's try it. For example, they're not lying. It did actually help 33% lower the cost, but for example, they're not saying that the CPM has increased, for example, or they will not say other things. So they do write for the experiment whatever is convenient to them, okay? So you might see, for example, and the lower cost per result also goes along the way because it doesn't talk about purchases and stuff. And secondly, they don't even guarantee you that because, because it's Facebook. Now you can tell me, do you guarantee stuff? No, I don't. But you do get my point. Saying things like that coming from Meta, people are sending me messages and they tell me, hey, I have seen this blah blah. Do we believe it? No, we don't believe it just because it comes from Meta. They just believe that it's going to happen. Anyway, that's it. Be careful about that. Now, before we go into our main topic, I would like to discuss something that happened with one of my friends that they do Facebook ads. He's not as experienced, and I have been to another account with him that he has only a very small spend, like 30 per day to spend. And I was watching that he was doing an ABO with 3 ad sets, 10, 10, 10. Just because it looks nice to have 10 and 10 and 10, it doesn't mean that it's correct. And the thing that I told him to notice, first of all, is can you see if CBOs are working in this ad account? Because when you go in a new ad account, it doesn't mean that you have to reinvent the wheel. So can you see if if CBOs are working? Yes, you had some campaigns that there are CBOs and they're working there. Perfect. So step number 1. Step number 2, can we see over there if we have an average cost per purchase? Let's take one campaign that has several leads, for example, because it was lead gen. So the cost per lead in this campaign that had much volume and it was successful also, it was 15. So I told him that how come you're adding 10, 10, 10 in a daily budget that basically it's going to reset on a daily level, and it's like you're asking, I want to have a cost per lead every day for $10, while your best ever result was 15. So I told him, look, if you don't want to use a CBO for your reason, perfect, use an ABO, but just do one ad set and do all the 30 there. Take the best ad set that you had, move it on 30. If you want to do a CBO, again, you have better chances because you can have 3 ad sets, for example, but it doesn't mean that it's going to spend 10, 10, 10. You have better chances of spending more money to one of them and actually getting a cost per lead that makes sense. Because as we said several times on this channel, it doesn't matter if you spend $300, for example, in the course of how many days, I don't know, many days. But it matters if you're how much. So let's say it doesn't matter if you spend $300 in 300 days. It matters if you're spending $300 per day, because with $300 in 300 days, you're just spending $1 per day, which is nothing. So the end budget that you're going to have, it says nothing, okay? Your daily budget says a lot. And when you have, you just observe, guys. Just go to the ad account. You're seeing CBOs are working. Okay, I have to try CBOs. Do I have limited budget? Perfect. I have only $30 to spend. What is my average cost per lead that I'm getting here? 15 was the best one. Okay, so I cannot have a budget on an ABO for $10. The minimum that I have to do is 20. Okay. But if I can do a CBO, maybe I will try to do a little bit better. But with CBO I can put 3 ad sets, which means that I'm trying to get 10 on each, but CBO is going to distribute the budget, so I'm having very good chances of actually getting better results. So with CBO I can test faster 3 ad sets instead of 1, or run a crazy method, doesn't matter. So I can test 3 ad sets instead of 1. With ABO, it's much more slower, so I have to put $30 in just 1. So I would prefer, in my case, if it was mine, I would prefer to run a CBO with 30 and have 3 ad sets inside, so the best ones that I could see on the ad account. Again, don't forget that you don't have to reinvent the wheel in an ad account. You can go and you can check what was working and just move with that. Before we go again to the main topic, I want to say 2 more things that came to my mind while I was talking about that. First of all, there are a lot of messages that I'm getting which are all about, hey, I want to do this change here and there, and I want to do this or do that and everything. I just want to clarify something, that whenever you're doing a change on the ad account, you need to think if you're winning something out of it. If you're just touching something just to touch it, this is always bad and a very bad behavior. Keep in your mind that whenever you're touching something, you're taking a risk of ruining something or making a mistake or making something correct. But still you're taking a risk of doing something wrong. The ideal case scenario is that you're running ads, the ideal, okay? And you don't have to touch them. That's the ideal case scenario. If you have to touch them, you're always thinking, what am I going to win out of that? Because if I'm going to win just 0.02 ROAS, by just doing a change, it's better for me not to touch it because I might ruin it. So first thing is this, that you need to always ask yourself, what am I going to win out of that, and does it worth it, and the risk and all of that, because there's always going to be a risk and you have to weigh your options. The other thing that I want to mention is something that I forgot. Okay, I remembered. The next thing that I wanted to say is that we need at some point, guys, we need to stop all of this madness with blueprints. Okay, I do know that they sound appealing. I do know that people like to follow rules and stuff, but you have to understand that Facebook doesn't work like this. So this madness has to stop. When you listen people talk about follow this blueprint and stuff, you have to run away from them. The same way that I'm mentioning here that Meta cannot just say that this advanced plus audience is going to increase 33% of your results just because it increased in another business. The two businesses are completely different. So when we see someone saying that follow this blueprint and stuff, and just because it worked for their business, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for yours. This is a new crucial thing, that whoever is following my channel or my students or on my mentorships and stuff, I want all of them to just follow this common sense concept, because this is not about training people. In this channel, we don't care about training people for one business, but for every single business that they're going to create in their lives. That's why we don't have blueprints, and we don't say that the crazy method is working everywhere. I'm not saying these kind of things. I'm just saying that I'm just trying to put as much content as I can with things that I'm seeing that are working, so that you can find your own blueprint and what is working for your business now, and maybe find another blueprint for another business and so on. So that being said, a lot of times people tell me, how can I test new products? Guys, it's very simple. Based on this previous discussion, you go into your ad account, you see what is working. For example, you are seeing that you're having a campaign of $200, $300 CBO with 5 assets that it's actually a winner campaign. Perfect. The question here is, how can I test things on my ad account with only one variable? And let me explain what I mean. So I'm having, for example, in my ad account, new creatives that I want to test. I will take a proven structure, a CBO campaign that is working on with some other creatives there, but it's working. So this is proven that this structure is working. For example, it has lookalikes or broad. So I know that I'm going to test it with lookalikes because they do actually work this period on my ad account. And I'm going to change the creatives, one variable, the creatives. Let's say, for example, that I want to test different things. I'm taking the creatives that I have, which are working. I have seen them working with a structure, and then I'm changing. For example, I'm doing crazy method broad targeting. I'm doing crazy method stack lookalikes to see if lookalikes are working. I'm doing an advantage plus with the creatives that they are successful in order to make it work. So all of these are things that whenever I'm doing something on Meta, I'm trying to have one variable. And now comes the question, what if I have a new ad account? You can do whatever you want. If you have a new ad account, guys, play. Okay, you can use things that they're working in other ad accounts, but just try to test them and stuff. As soon as you find something working though, you have to move with the one variable rule and try to do it again and again, because it's going to be more cost efficient for you, not for any other reason. Now, by talking with people, I realize that all of these things are common sense to me. But since it's not a common sense for a lot of people, I'm not going to be bored of telling them, of saying them, and explaining them again and again and again. Now, so much time passed and we haven't touched the main topic. So let's go straight away to the main topic. Make sure that all the main topic is on the free part. I want this to be on the free part. If we end up having all the questions on the second part, do it. I got a message from one old friend. She sent me that. Hi Konstantinos, I signed up for your Patreon. Thank you very much. By the way, guys, thank you very much for the support on the Patreon and for you liking to listen to all the podcasts. Love learning from you and congratulations on the new baby. Thank you very much. Actually, yesterday, guys, she slept for 6 hours straight, which is a very big progress for us. I'm still trying to figure it out, and as a side job, I've taken on designing other authors, season author, other authors' Shopify stores and landing pages, and some of my clients had suddenly stopped seeing their UK conversions. She posted also on the group, which was crazy because it was something I'd done. So after a lot of research, we realized that in an effort to comply with all the GDPR regulations by putting up the Shopify cookie banner, we lost the ability to track them in the UK. They have opted into tracking, and who's going to do that? It's much like the iOS 14 debacle. She's an author, so I guess this is a word that I have to learn. So we removed the cookie banner, and tracking continues, but all the risk of non-compliance, at least the mystery is solved. First of all, I have done this discussion with several people. There are few people that are having this compliance ready and get going. If we're talking about Shopify, I need to clarify that whoever has done the Shopify integration on the settings and then on the, I think it's on settings, personalized, somewhere there, it's on, you are going to find the cookie banners for EU, UK and United States, the different states. So this is for EU and UK, it's a GDPR regulation, and we have also the states of, it's called CCP something. Let me find it. Yeah, it's called CCPA. California CCPA. India has DPDP. Virginia has CDPA. GDPR and others. The states that they have it is California, Colorado, Connecticut, Utah, and Virginia. Here I'm having a roadmap of why this is happening actually now. You can see that on 2019, on October 9th, we had submission of proposal for California privacy rights. Then we had some privacy protection agency established on 2020. Process of formulating, adopting on 2021. So this is something that starts from 2020 with the personal data and everything. Personal information collection 2022 becomes liable under the CPRA. Then final CPRA regulations adopting by CPPA. I'm not an expert to all of that. I'm just giving you a time frame, and the information that I have gathered so that you can research it more. The only reason that I'm mentioning this is because it's affecting reporting, and we're going to discuss this in a bit. Then on January 1st, 2023, California Privacy Rights Act enters into full force, and then enforcement of the CPRA begins under the CPPA on July 1st. So there are going to be several companies that are going to try to do it before the July 1st. Now, what are the consequences? I have no idea. I don't have any clue of what's going to happen. Is it going to be fines? Is it going to be getting banned on Shopify, getting banned on Facebook? Is it going to be getting sued by people? I don't know what are the consequences. Now, two things. First of all, the people who have done it through Shopify, they had huge problems, and basically they lost reporting. we need to say something about cookies. First of all, into your settings on your Facebook, on the events manager, if you go to settings, you're going to see first party cookies on. This was the first thing that we had, and we said, okay, we're not going to have a problem with cookies, because the removal of the cookies from Google meant that, okay, we have a problem over here. But then we had this setting inside Meta that was saying that first party cookies are on, so we're not going to have a problem, we're still going to be able to capture data. Secondly, cookies are being categorized to three brackets. It's the personal, it's marketing, and it's general. So if someone goes into a website and they click over there that I don't accept the marketing cookies, there's no reporting, zero reporting. So what is happening is that, I guess with the way that it's being set up with Shopify, it's asking them if you accept this cookie or that cookie, all of that with different check marks. So when people don't accept, we don't have any reporting. In case you stopped having reporting because you have done any changes and stuff, that's the reason over there, you have to research it. Secondly, there are some ways, like over here, I had a suggestion from someone saying that you can use a service, but the developer will know better. Of course, always talk with developers about that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a learning curve, also like the API integration that we had a lot of people saying that they can do it and they couldn't do it. And then it's more mainstream for people to do API integrations. You need to have a good developer, I guess. Free and custom solutions like, this is not affiliated, by the way, it's called cookiebot.com. Basically what it does is that it takes you to the mode of having, from my understanding, okay, maybe I'm wrong, it takes you to the mode of having not the different brackets of cookies, but it has something like, and it says, another message here also says, just to help it more, the solution I know is through Google Tag Manager. Google Tag Manager is a container where you can have all tags without going into the original code of the website with the risk of breaking something. You will need a developer to do the setup of the consent mode in GTM. Also, there are two modes in the settings, the basic mode and the advanced mode. In the basic mode, if the user doesn't consent, you don't get any data. In the advanced mode, if he doesn't consent, you don't get the personal data to use it in remarketing, but you do get the conversions. You have to tell this to the developer. So basically, there are just these two settings. Even if people are going to decline, you're not taking the personal data, but you're getting the marketing cookies in order for you to be able to continue. With the settings that you're doing on Shopify, you're not having this advanced mode, so you're having a problem. I have companies that they have implemented that and we have zero problems. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have problems, but be careful. In general, we don't have a lot of time if we believe on the timeline, and it's going to start being in full power on July 1st. The other thing that I must say is that Meta has paid a lot of fines to EU for the GDPR and all of these things. So I think that they're also going to take action on that now that, because Meta and Shopify go together. When API came out, Shopify was one of the first companies that actually had an integration with Meta. So they're brother companies. They do work really closely. And in my opinion, that's one of the reasons that Shopify is doing so well, except from the fact that it's a very good platform, actually. It gives you the possibility of having an e-commerce store without the fuzz of several other things that you have to do. So I think that the secret over here is the advanced mode compared to the basic mode, that in the advanced mode, even when they're going to decline, personally, guys, and let me know in the comments, I never decline cookies. I don't know why, but I never. Do you decline cookies on? You do? So she does. You. So sorry. So basically, the problem is this. I don't know why, but I don't decline cookies. I do accept most of the times because they're just some stupid windows that they open and they bother me while I'm shopping. But as I said, there are people that are declining them. The thing is that I think that even if they decline them and we have the advanced mode, that it's actually going to just decline the personal cookies, then we're going to be able to capture the general and the marketing ones. I hope that given the fact that I don't like to analyze things that I'm not 100% sure and I don't know them. Also, I'm answering to one comment on my group. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you don't know something. It's always good, okay? Because it helps people and saves people time. This is what I have gathered, guys, and this is what you can research also about this cookie thing. And let me know also in the comments if you have any good solution and stuff about it. But I'm pretty sure that's all I have gathered and I have nothing else. Of course, now this is the thing that I'm going to cover more and more by watching what some of my clients are doing. But I need also to say that most probably there are going to be people that they might find solutions. Let's say, for example, that this is very bad and there are solutions, but they are very difficult or that not a lot of people know them. The logic says that people are not going to share them because they're going to have much less competition in their ads. If we want to be pragmatic over here, if someone has a solution about this and he's the only one, the others are going to stop advertising because they don't have reporting. So basically he's going to be able to make more money for a certain period until other people catch up. But we'll see. Guys, if I have a solution which is solid and concrete, I'm going to tell you. With Shopify, I think that's going to be easy. I don't know if Cookiebot integrates with several sites and stuff. I know that with some platforms like ClickFunnels, which is always problematic, there are going to be issues. WordPress, I think it's going to be fine then. And I don't know the consequences. Now, let's read a little bit about Shopify and what we have here from what they said. How does the affect Shopify event tracking? This new update affects the data collected for marketing and analytic purposes. The direct conversion API integration in the Shopify store is also affected, as the user event data is not tracked at all when the user's location is EEA or UK. I don't know what is EEA. EEA is EU. Let's set it, guys, so that we don't have any. What the is EEA? EEA. EEA countries is the European Union, yeah. Yeah, but what does EEA stand for? European Economic Area. Yeah, I should have known that because it has it on the selection of countries if you can just wanna get the countries that they have euros. The default setting is changed from partially collected before consent. Oh, I forgot to tell you that now that I see it. Another person, a developer, actually told me that with Google Tag Manager and with these programs, because you might be thinking that someone is coming and they are not clicking on the box. Somebody told me that with the Google Tag Manager and stuff, again, I'm going to explain it in the way that I understood it. There is a delay on when events are going to be triggered until someone is going to click. For example, when somebody goes to the site, the event doesn't trigger immediately. It gives it a delay until it's getting triggered so that somebody can click accept or decline on the cookies. This is another thing that they told me. The default setting is changed from partially collected before consent to collect after consent. So this is what the send is doing, okay? If you don't consent, we are doing partially collection of events. Now we don't do any collection of events. Therefore, the Shopify event tracking does not yield accurate results. There is a lot of signal loss that happens, causing discrepancies in the data sent to Google Ads, Google Analytics, Meta Ads, and others. The Shopify marketing analytics will also not be able to give you the full accurate data. So if you're relying on the data in the Shopify dashboard, then be cautious as to what you see. Do not believe what you see. Oh, so we're not going to have accurate reporting also on Shopify data, but we're going to have the sales, I guess, over there in order to compare it. How to know, but we're not going to have other data like visits and all of that, because the sales is something that we're going to have anyway. It's happening on Shopify. How to know, do you know something that I'm thinking now? You don't accept cookies. That means that you don't want to share your personal info. Okay, don't buy. Why do you buy and you don't accept cookies? Why do you buy? If you don't accept cookies and you don't buy, fine. But why do you buy if you don't accept cookies and then you're selling your information like you're paying with your card? I just don't get it. I think we're going into. I do understand that we have to protect personal data, but I think that we take it to a whole other level. Anyway, but of course we cannot complain because, to be honest, all of these platforms have been abusing the users' data. Of course, it was written on the terms of services and stuff when we were accepting to be part of these platforms, but still, they have been abused a lot. The Shopify Marketing Analytics will also not be able to give you the full accurate data. Yeah, that's it. We read it. How to know if you're affected by this Shopify update? If you notice the sudden dip in web traffic for European regions, your store is likely affected by this update. Compare the data with your Shopify Analytics, blah, blah. That's easy. Why did Shopify bring in this event tracking change? With Meta facing huge fines in the EU for not complying with GDPR, all the big tech companies are looking forward GDPR compliance. The recent move by Shopify is partially a move towards GDPR compliance. GDPR to date is seen as the ideal data protection regulation that all the other companies are looking towards. India, DPDP, California CCPA, Virginia CDPA, and others see GDPR as an ideal regulation and have almost all the provisions of GDPR. So to avoid any further complications and fines from the government, so it says that it's about fines from the governments and law implementing agencies. Shopify has made a clever move. Of course, they have to protect their site. How to implement Shopify event tracking amidst the constant update. You can fix the Shopify event tracking issue amidst the major update by Shopify, which prevents tracking users before consent. Here's the three steps, and it has step 1, which is talking about the preferences. Note 2, this temporarily fix might not be able forever, as Shopify also looks forward to transitioning into a tool that complies with data privacy laws and regulation. Step 2, adopt a consent manager to display a cookie consent banner, the one that we set for the people in in Eurozone and the UK. Cookiebot. So Cookiebot, the one that I mentioned, CookieScript and other cookie consent managers are easy to implement the same. So they're also proposing Cookiebot. Cookiebot is one of the most that I have seen from more people actually proposing it. Step 3, use server-side data collection using tools such as Customer Labs CDP to collect first-party data. Using Customer Labs, it has a link also here, so I guess they are cooperating with each other. We'll ensure to have one source of truth for all of your customer data by having a unified profile for every user. User behavior data is stored in a GDPR compliant way and helps you use it across multiple ad platforms. I'm pretty sure, guys, that most probably there are going to be news also from companies like Wicked Report, Triple Whale and all of that they will try to make their own versions of that because all the things that they do is tracking. Here's how we check the impact of this change collected before consent. For the users from European Zone and UK, we have first chosen the option collected before consent in Shopify customer privacy settings in the preferences under online store. The data flows seamlessly into the Customer Lab app. This option has no impact, and therefore when we looked at the data at the event parameters we were able to collect were all there. We can collect enough data to send it to Meta and other ad platforms through the server in a secure way, preventing the privacy of the user. Perfect. Collect it after consent. Next, we have turned on the collect after consent option. With this on, when the user comes in and makes a purchase, all the behavior data is still flowing seamlessly. So my point of view that when they make a purchase, they actually share the data, so they do go through. This is because it is a first-party data and it is a private serving method of collecting data and activating it across ad platforms. So even when you choose the collected after consent option using a tool like Customer Lab, so basically they are selling a little bit the Customer Lab solution over here. Anonymize the data group and it understands the behavior to come up with marketing strategies and to personalize that experience. We don't like things that anonymize the data because this is not how Facebook works. On Facebook, we want to know who made the sale in order to continue having sales. Don't forget that we have reporting on Meta that it's not tied to a person, and this is not helping at all. This is what companies like Triple Whale and other companies are doing. They are also reporting data back, but we don't care about that. We care about having reporting on the asset level of who was the person that bought. If we're missing that, then we have a problem into the optimization process. I'm not saying that Facebook is going to close and it's not going to be effective. I'm just saying that we're going to have less and less data in order to continue optimizing and have better results. So after that, we're going to have X results on Meta, for example, 1 ROAS, and in reality, it's going to be 2.5 ROAS. But this is not something that we can scale, because every scale is going to be a gamble, because it's going to be without data that Meta actually sees within the platform. Hope it makes sense. The above experiment has instilled confidence in our clients. The customer data is not being missed out due to any of the policy changes, as our innovative technology is compliant with GDPR already. Conclusion: the update released by Shopify on October 31st, 2023, that changes how the data is collected in a milestone, and it's called to be fully privacy compliant. Of course, all of us, we caught up on that this month, because the next month it's going to be applied. After the limited data in California, Colorado, and Connecticut, they collected after consent option in European zone and UK. Shopify is trying to be compliant with all these data privacy regulations. The only way to leap ahead into the future is to start collecting your first-party data using a privacy-compliant customer data platform. That's all with this thing. I think that we covered it enough. Now, guys, that you know, it's up to you to do your own research and stuff. I think that I covered it extensively. Now, for all of you asking if I'm going to make a video about this on YouTube, I'm not. Why? Because I don't have the answers. There is no point of me posting a video saying that I have seen this and that and that. This is why we have the podcast. I have seen this and that and that. If I don't have a solution, I cannot create a video telling you that you should do this and that and that. Also, I do believe that this is more of a developer thing and a company thing to be compliant with things. And we're just being involved a little bit because it affects us in terms of reporting. Whew. Let's go to your questions. Hello. Hello, Paul. Hello, I'm doing only dynamic catalog ads on Broad. Good for you. It's working on several accounts because trying interests and lookalike wasn't good enough. In Broad, they're giving me positive results. I tried to scale doing crazy method, but the results wasn't that good. Okay. My question is that dynamic catalog ads don't work to scale. Of course they work for scaling. Or should I do advanced plus campaign, or just increase the money by 20% every 3 days? Thank you very much. Okay, the answer is very simple. If you have something that the logic here says this, but from my experience at least, not because I want to defend the crazy method, maybe it's not working. It's not working, or you don't know how to optimize it. There are several aspects to it. So if something is working with volume and ROAS, not just having a small spend and good ROAS, if something is working by having good volume, a lot of sales and good ROAS, then it's going to work on crazy method. You can tell me things like, I did a crazy method campaign and killed my previous campaign. These are things that can happen, but from my experience and in theory, it's working always if you have these two things in an ad set. Now, you are saying things like it wasn't good enough. So I'm guessing that it's having results, but you're not happy with the ROAS. Maybe you want a lot of ROAS and you're trying to scale. Maybe, for example, there are some people that I meet a lot of times and they say, I have 5 ROAS, okay, by spending 100. And they want to spend 1K while their break-even ROAS is 1.8, spend 1K, still have 5 ROAS. This is not going to happen. Forget about it. I'm sensing that you are in this category of people. So if you want to scale while you're maintaining your high ROAS that you have now on smaller spends, it's not going to happen. You have to decide what you want, if you want ROAS or if you want growth. Now, if you're not in that case and you just want to scale, but it's not about the ROAS, you should test all of the things that you mentioned and see which one is working better for you. Not only in terms of a technical level what is working better for you, but what works better for your mentality, your character, and all of that. Maybe the crazy method is not working well for you because you don't like to optimize on CBO. Maybe you like to optimize better on Advanced Plus. Maybe you are a person that you like more to do the 20%. The 20% thing. Okay, this is so if you like, for example, the 20% more, it's up to you to decide what you're going to do there. Okay, but for sure, be my guest and test. If you test, you never lose. Okay. Now, let's continue to the next questions. We have Renato over here. Hello, Konstantinos. What do you mean with the term consolidation campaigns? So this is not a term that it's mine. This is a term which is coming from Meta. Basically, what we have is that Meta is saying that you should not run multiple campaigns. I don't know with who I have done a discussion recently that was talking about yeah, I remember. It was a message sent to one of my students from one of his old mentors, telling him that what we're doing right now is just two campaigns, one for testing and one for cold traffic. And I was actually amazed by that because I don't believe at all at it, and I believe in doing several campaigns, but not in the way that they mean it. So we have to explain a little bit what we mean by doing several campaigns and what they are proposing. What they're proposing is doing consolidation, which means that you're running the least possible campaigns that you can. If you're not running, for example, more than 100K, they say that you need to have just only two campaigns and put all of your budget there. Now, this is something that if your product is very good and all of that, it's going to work on some other accounts, but in the majority of the other accounts, if you don't split your budget, because you have to scale gradually, you're not just going to scale immediately since day one. Either you will have to start with a campaign that you're going to scale with the 20% rule, which has a lot of risk, or you will have to be able to scale also by just using the same creatives and stuff, so which is a problem. What I'm proposing is that you're scaling with multiple campaigns, having multiple different creatives that they are convincing more people to buy. If you haven't seen my video about the daily demand, the daily loop theory and how to break the daily loop theory, I think you should go there. By the way, I'm going to make a part B for the more complex stuff about the daily loop theory. So this is what they mean by consolidation, that they want you to have the least possible number of campaigns. We believe the exact opposite, that you should have many, but not with the same creative. This is where the misconception comes. There are a lot of people that they just want to scale with one creative and one product. And we say that you can scale, but you can scale with many creatives, many products, many different creatives for the same product, different countries. This is how you're scaling in ad accounts. Yeah, I guess that's all. And you know, the problem with one ad account that's starting right now, because I said several times that going from 50K to 100K, it's not so difficult. Basically, it's really easy. Instead of spending 2K per day, you spend 3K per day. It's not so difficult. If you do it with 3 1K campaigns, be my guest. For sure, do it. That's not an issue. But in most of the accounts, when you are scaling, you have to break through, you have to keep spending more and more by just making a breakthrough month by month. So there is already an established spend of your competitors and they have to make mistakes or liberate budget, or you have to make better your offer in order for you to take bigger chunk of the market. So you're doing this gradually. You cannot just do one campaign that has 3K. And now there are people that they just use the 20% rule. Eventually you're going to make a mistake with the 20% rule. I have videos showing that, and it's going to collapse. When you have several campaigns, even if one campaign collapses, then basically what you can do is that you can just close it and move on with another one and just not replace it. Also, you are having more campaigns with more creatives that they're becoming post IDs, and they're super powerful, and they're actually helping you to scale because they have so much credibility. Anyway, that's what we mean with consolidation, and that's why we're against it. This is the end of the first part of the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. If you don't want to miss the second half of the podcast, where I'm answering all the remaining questions of the week, visit my Patreon page following the link on the description. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.